Hi guys, welcome to SAP HANA training. Hi guys, welcome to SAP HANA training. So we'll start SAP HANA training. The class will be everyday classes. Welcome to SAP HANA training. So we'll start SAP HANA training. The class will be everyday classes. So we'll start SAP HANA training. The class will be everyday classes. So in this SAP, so we'll discuss about SAP part. I hope you guys are okay with this SAP. Suppose this is my company. It starts OLTP system. So in my company, I can use the different databases like SQL Server, Oracle, and some other activities.
So I start recording. So మనం వచ్చేసి we are in the extraction. BOD's extraction అయిపోయింది. Okay. So we are in SLT part, right? So let us go to SLT part. So SLT అంటే but SAP landscape transformation. So we have a T code called LTR is a T code where you can establish a configuration between from this different environment to HDFS server. Okay, the T code is LTR. And when you load from the SAP, so I start recording. సో మనం వచ్చేసి వీఆర్ ఇన్ ద ఎక్స్ట్రాక్షన్ బిఓడిస్ ఎక్స్ట్రాక్షన్ అయిపోయింది. ఓకే. సో వీఆర్ ఎస్ఎల్టీ పార్ట్, రైట్? సో ఎస్ఎల్టీ పార్ట్. సో ఎస్ఎల్టీ అంటే బట్ ఎస్ఏపి ల్యాండ్స్కేప్ ట్రాన్స్ఫర్మేషన్. So we have a T code called LTR is a T code where you can establish the config. So I start recording. So మనం వచ్చేసి we are in the extraction. BOD's extraction అయిపోయింది. Okay. So we are in SLT part, right? So let us go to the SLT part. So SLT అంటే but SAP landscape transformation. So we have a T code called LTR is a T code where you can establish the configuration between from this different environment to HDFC server. Okay, the T code is LTR. And when you load from the SAP CC, we need to configure some through RFC connection. Okay, and so we will first we'll go with the LTR, SLT part. Later we'll go with the DXC part. So when we talk about LTR here, SLT, so we load data using a option called data provisioning. Okay, so where we get this 5 options: so load option, replicate option, stop replication, suspend, resume. Load అనేది ఏంటంటే at very first time when you choose option called load option, if you load the mara table, if you load the entire data up to the date, ఆ డేట్ లో ఎంత రికార్డ్స్ ఉందో ఆ రికార్డ్స్ మాత్రం లోడ్ చేస్తుంది. ఓకే, మిగతా రికార్డ్స్ ఇంకా లోడ్ చేయదు. If you choose option called replicate, it will load the entire data up to a date plus connection remains same. If any future updates will happen in the source system, it's also updated to a target. Okay, అది replication అంటే. అండ్ స్టాప్ రిప్లికేషన్ ఏమైతే మీకు రిప్లికేషన్ వద్దనుకోండి, ఫ్యూచర్లో డేటా వద్దనుకోండి, యూ కెన్ స్టాప్ డేటా డైరెక్ట్లీ, యూ కెన్ స్టాప్ దట్ టేబుల్, స్టాప్ రిప్లికేషన్. సో ఇట్ విల్ ద కనెక్షన్ విల్ స్టాప్. అండ్ సస్పెండ్ అంటే you can make a suspend, like if you can make a pause for a while, 1 minute, 2 minutes laga you can do a pause. Okay, again if you make a resume back, when you make a resume back, ఎక్కడైతే పాస్ అయిందో అక్కడ నుంచి మళ్ళీ all the record will be loaded once into HANA system. So the 5 options are available in this system. Okay, the SLT part. అయితే ఇక్కడ ఎస్ఎల్టీలో మనకి ఏమేమి ఆప్షన్స్ మీకు ఎస్ఎల్టీ వచ్చేసి ఇది యాడ్ ఆన్ సాఫ్ట్వేర్ వీ కెన్ ఇన్స్టాల్ ఆన్ సొల్యూషన్ మేనేజర్ ఆన్ ది SAP ECC ఆల్సో. సో ఇక్కడ వచ్చేసి వీ హ్యావ్ వన్ ఆఫ్ 3 టాపిక్స్ ఉంటుంది, 3 మాడ్యూల్స్ ఉంటుంది. ఫస్ట్ ఏం చేస్తుందంటే ఇట్ విల్ డూ ద రీడ్. ఓకే, ఎక్కడ నుంచి ద సోర్స్ నుంచి, సపోజ్ ఐఎమ్ గెటింగ్ డేటా ఫ్రమ్ ది ECC అనుకోండి, ఇట్ విల్ రీడ్ ద డేటా ఫ్రమ్ ది ECC. ఈసీలో వీ హ్యావ్ అప్లికేషన్ టేబుల్, ట్రాన్స్పరెంట్ టేబుల్, పూల్ టేబుల్, రైట్? అదే మన సో ఆ టేబుల్ రీడ్ చేస్తుంది. మధ్యలో ఏం చేస్తుంది, ఇట్ విల్ డూ మ్యాపింగ్ అండ్ ట్రాన్స్ఫర్మేషన్. ఓకే, సో ఇట్ విల్ డూ ఆల్ ద ట్రాన్స్ఫర్మేషన్ అండ్ మ్యాపింగ్. అండ్ ద లాస్ట్ పార్ట్ ఇట్ విల్ డూ రైట్ ఆపరేటర్ చేస్తుంది. ఇక్కడ ఇట్ విల్ రైట్ ఆన్ ది HANA system. So it will perform all the right operator on the HANA system. So this is what we have to do here. Okay, so I'll show this PPT ఎలా ఉంటుందో I will show you. So ఇది SLT, nothing but landscape transformation here. Okay, so it ఏం చేస్తుంటే it will let them from different environments. So it has a read engine, mapping and transformation engine, and write engine. Read ఏం చేస్తుంది, it will read from the source system, then it will perform mapping. Okay, అంటే source కి target కి map చేస్తుంది. Write అంటే it will write to the HANA system. Okay, then it is what here. So if you load from the SAP ECC అనుకోండి, SD కానీ MM కానీ రికార్డ్ డేటా. సో ఇక్కడ దీస్ ఆర్ ఆల్ అప్లికేషన్ టేబుల్. అందులో మాకు సపోజ్గా వీ హ్యావ్ సమ్ DB ట్రిగర్ ఒక టేబుల్ ఉంటుంది, DB ట్రిగర్ అండ్ లాగిన్ టేబుల్. సో DB ట్రిగర్ అండ్ లాగిన్ టేబుల్ ఏం చేస్తుందంటే ఇఫ్ యూ చూస్ ఆప్షన్ కాల్ రిప్లికేట్, ఆ రిప్లికేట్లో కొత్త రికార్డ్స్ అప్డేట్ అయితే ఈ టేబుల్ ఆ రికార్డ్స్ క్యాప్చర్ చేసి పెట్టుకుంటుంది ఈ రెండు. ఓకే, ఈ రెండు టేబుల్స్. దెన్ I'll show you. Okay, yeah, చూడండి ఇక్కడ ఇప్పుడు ఇలా ఉంది. ఇఫ్ చూస్ లోడ్ ఆప్షన్ ఏమవుతుందంటే ఇది వీ హ్యావ్ అప్లికేషన్ టేబుల్, ఇట్ విల్ లోడ్ ది డేటా, ఆ డేటా ఎంత రికార్డ్ అంత రికార్డ్ లోడ్ అవుతుంది. ఇఫ్ యూ చూస్ రిప్లికేట్ ఏమవుతుందంటే ఇక్కడ ఒక DB ట్రిగర్ అండ్ లాగిన్ టేబుల్స్. ఈ రిప్లికేషన్ ద్వారా కొత్త రికార్డ్ ఇప్పుడు ఫస్ట్ లోడ్ చేస్తే ఫస్ట్ ఇఫ్ యూ చూస్ రిప్లికేట్ ఏం చేస్తుంది, ఇట్ విల్ ఫస్ట్ పర్ఫార్మ్ ది లోడ్ ఆప్షన్. లోడ్ చేసి డేట్ వరకు ఎంత రికార్డ్స్ ఆ రికార్డ్స్ అంతా ఫస్ట్ లోడ్ చేస్తుంది. మళ్ళీ రేపు నుంచి కొత్త రికార్డ్స్ యాడ్ అయితే ఆ రికార్డ్ని ఇట్ విల్ క్యాప్చర్ ఇయర్ DB ట్రిగర్లో లాగిన్ టేబుల్లో it will capture the కొత్త records capture చేసి then it will replicate to the HANA system. Instead of loading once again, instead of loading overwriting the data, it will insert data. Okay, కొత్తగా records అయినా it will load here. And if you don't want to replicate స్టాప్ చేస్తే ఈ రెండు స్టాప్ అయిపోతుంది. సో మాకు కొత్త రికార్డ్స్ ఏం రావు, అంటే ఈ కనెక్షన్ ఉండదు. స్టాప్ చేస్తే సస్పెండ్ చేస్తే ఈ కనెక్షన్స్ ఉండదు, ఈ కనెక్షన్ ఉండదు. ఓన్లీ కాదు ఇక్కడ కొత్త రికార్డ్ అయినా కూడా ఆ రికార్డ్ని ఇట్ విల్ సేవ్. ఎందుకంటే మా ఫ్యూచర్ మళ్ళీ వీ కెన్ ఇఫ్ యూ రిజ్యూమ్ బ్యాక్ చేసినా కూడా ఎక్కడైతే ఆగిపోయిందో అక్కడ నుంచి వీల్ నీడ్ పాత రికార్డ్స్. ఓకే, మళ్ళీ రిజ్యూమ్ బ్యాక్ చేస్తే మళ్ళీ ఆ అకౌంట్ విల్ టేక్ ఏ రిజ్యూమ్ బ్యాక్ కంటిన్యూస్ అండ్ డేటా రెప్లికేషన్ ప్రాసెస్ విల్ టేక్ ప్లేస్. Okay.
Okay.
So is of the application take place. So let us see practically how it's happening. So SLT చేస్తే మాకు we have some configuration here. అంటే అక్కడ టేబుల్ లోడ్ అయింది లేదా అని చూసుకోవడానికి we have a T code called IUUC_SYNC_MON. Okay, so this is a T code where we can configure the at EC side, and we have MWBMON. This is a T code where you can check at HANA side, అంటే ఆ టేబుల్ హనాకి వచ్చిందో లేదో చూసుకోవడానికి. So we'll see. So let me open the HANA Studio.
ఇప్పుడు ఎస్ఎల్టీ అనేది ఈసీసీలో కన్ఫిగర్ చేస్తారా సార్?
Yes, exactly.
ఓకే, ఎస్ఎల్టీ ఈసీసీలో ఉంటుందా?
Yeah, అంటే టాప్ ఆఫ్
ఈసీసీ నుంచి మనం లోడ్ రెప్లికేషన్స్ ఇవన్నీ ఈసీసీ టు హనాకి.
ఇది ICC టు హనాకి అంతే.
ఓకే ఓకే.
So let me log into my database. So I'll go with here you can choose an option called we have a data provision. So using this option we can do all those activities, SLT activities. So click here and do the target and make it finish. So make it finish. This is a screen we get here. I think student target schema. అంటే మీకు ఇక్కడ ఏ టేబుల్ లోడ్ చేసినా it will go to this target schema. Okay. So I'll go with the content part, catalog. First let me check that part here.
काल गया था धूप जो हाल गया काल के थे.
So we check the schema called Z test 51.
कना किए
ढोल पिसा छे के तो केरा का ये बिदे रहो तुम ना
ఇక్కడ ఓకే. సో లెట్ us go to expand. మనము లే టేబుల్ లోడ్ చేద్దాం. ఓకే, 1 second.
से नहीं में ताने दुनिया रेट दुनिया काम कर तो बेजान खा रही है तो सिगुले कुंडा तुझा ताने होतं ही कर गो तो काय घाल दे लक्ष दे राम
बरकाना था वाइस सिर्फ देख रहे थे फुटी
कौन देख रहा सर
वी और लाइव हाल हो गया कॉमन सेंस से इतना था भी
పోలీస్ అడిగి తడుపుతారు వెయ్యి
అది పోలీస్ ఆర్డర్
అయితే ఇక్కడ ఎస్ఎల్టీలో మనకి ఏమేమి ఆప్షన్స్ మీకు ఎస్ఎల్టీ వచ్చేసి ఇది యాడ్ ఆన్ సాఫ్ట్వేర్ వీ కెన్ ఇన్స్టాల్ ఆన్ సొల్యూషన్ మేనేజర్ ఆన్ ది SAP ECC ఆల్సో. సో ఇక్కడ వచ్చేసి వీ హ్యావ్ వన్ ఆఫ్ 3 టాపిక్స్ ఉంటుంది, 3 మాడ్యూల్స్ ఉంటుంది. ఫస్ట్ ఏం చేస్తుందంటే ఇట్ విల్ డూ ద రీడ్. ఓకే, ఎక్కడ నుంచి ద సోర్స్ నుంచి. సపోజ్ ఐఎమ్ గెటింగ్ డేటా ఫ్రమ్ ది ECC అనుకోండి, ఇట్ విల్ రీడ్ ద డేటా ఫ్రమ్ ది ECC. ECలో వీ హ్యావ్ అప్లికేషన్ టేబుల్, ట్రాన్స్పరెంట్ టేబుల్, పూల్ టేబుల్, రైట్. అదే మన సో ఆ టేబుల్ రీడ్ చేస్తుంది. మధ్యలో ఏం చేస్తుంది, ఇట్ విల్ డూ మ్యాపింగ్ అండ్ ట్రాన్స్ఫర్మేషన్.
వాచింగ్.
Okay, so it will do all the transformation and mapping, and the last part it will do a write operator చేస్తుంది. ఇక్కడ it will write on the HANA system, so it will perform all the write operator on the HANA system. So this is what we have to do here. Okay, so I'll show this PPT ఎలా ఉంటుంది. I'll show you. So this is SLT, nothing but landscape transformation here. Okay, so it aims to it will let them from different environments. So it has a read engine, mapping and transformation engine, and write engine. Read aims it will read from the source system, then it will perform mapping. Okay, and the source ki target ki map chestundi. Write and it will write the HANA system. Okay, then this is what here. So if you load from the SAP ECC అనుకోండి, SD కానీ MM కానీ ఇటాం. సో ఇక్కడ దీస్ ఆర్ ఆల్ అప్లికేషన్ టేబుల్. అందులో మాకు సపోజ్గా వీ హ్యావ్ సమ్ DB ట్రిగర్ ఒక టేబుల్ ఉంటుంది, DB ట్రిగర్ అండ్ లాగింగ్ టేబుల్. సో DB ట్రిగర్ అండ్ లాగింగ్ టేబుల్ ఏం చూస్తుందంటే, ఇఫ్ యూ చూస్ ఆప్షన్ కాల్ రిప్లికేట్, ఆ రిప్లికేట్లో కొత్త రికార్డ్స్ అప్డేట్ అయితే ఈ టేబుల్ ఆ రికార్డ్స్ క్యాప్చర్ చేసి పెట్టుకుంటుంది ఈ రెండు. ఓకే, ఈ రెండు టేబుల్స్. దెన్ I'll show you. Okay. Yeah, చూడండి ఇక్కడ ఇలా ఉంది. If you choose the load option ఏమవుతుందంటే, ఇది we have application table. It will load the data. ఆ డేటా ఎంత రికార్డ్ అంత రికార్డ్ లోడ్ అవుతుంది. If you choose replicate ఏమవుతుందంటే, ఇక్కడ ఒక DB ట్రిగర్ అండ్ లాగింగ్ టేబుల్స్. ఈ రిప్లికేషన్ ద్వారా కొత్త రికార్డ్ మ్యాప్ ఫస్ట్ లోడ్ చేస్తే, ఫస్ట్ ఇఫ్ యూ చూస్ రిప్లికేట్ ఏమేస్తుంది, ఇట్ విల్ ఫస్ట్ పర్ఫార్మ్ ది లోడ్ ఆప్షన్. లోడ్ చేసి ఆ డేట్ వరకు ఎంత రికార్డ్స్ ఆ రికార్డ్స్ అంతా ఫస్ట్ లోడ్ చేస్తుంది. మళ్ళీ రేపు నుంచి కొత్త రికార్డ్స్ యాడ్ అయితే ఆ రికార్డ్ని ఇట్ విల్ క్యాప్చర్ హియర్ DB ట్రిగర్లో లాగింగ్ టేబుల్లో ఇట్ విల్ క్యాప్చర్ ది కొత్త రికార్డ్స్ క్యాప్చర్ చేసి దెన్ ఇట్ విల్ రిప్లికేట్ టు ద HANA system. Instead of loading once again, instead of loading overwriting the data, it will insert data. Okay, kottaga records it will load here. And if you don't want to replicate and stop చేస్తే ఈ రెండు స్టాప్ అయిపోతుంది. సో మాకు కొత్త రికార్డ్స్ ఏం రావు, ఇంకా ఈ కనెక్షన్ ఉండదు. స్టాప్ చేస్తే, సస్పెండ్ చేస్తే ఈ కనెక్షన్స్ ఉండదు, ఈ కనెక్షన్ ఉండదు. కాదు, ఇక్కడ కొత్త రికార్డ్ అయినా కూడా ఆ రికార్డ్ని ఇట్ విల్ సేవ్. ఎందుకంటే మాకు ఫ్యూచర్ మళ్ళీ వీ కెన్ ఇఫ్ యూ రిజ్యూమ్ బ్యాక్ చేసినా కూడా ఎక్కడైతే ఆగిపోయిందో అక్కడ నుంచి వీల్ నీటే పాత రికార్డ్స్. ఓకే, మళ్ళీ రిజ్యూమ్ బ్యాక్ చేస్తే మళ్ళీ ఆ అకౌంట్ విల్ టేక్ ఏ రిజ్యూమ్ బ్యాక్, కంటిన్యూస్ అండ్ డేటా రెప్లికేషన్ ప్రాసెస్ విల్ టేక్ ప్లేస్. Okay.
Okay.
So is of the application take place. So let us see practically how it's happening. సో ఎస్ఎల్టీ చేస్తే మాకు వీ హ్యావ్ సమ్ కాన్ఫిగరేషన్ హియర్. అంటే అక్కడ టేబుల్ లోడ్ అయింది లేదా అని చూసుకోవడానికి వీ హ్యావ్ టీ కోడ్ కాల్ IUUC_SYNC_MON. Okay, so this is a T code where you can configure the at EC side, and we have MWBMON. This is a T code where you can check at HANA side. అంటే ఆ టేబుల్ HANA కి వచ్చిందా లేదా చూసుకోవడానికి. So we'll see. So let me open the HANA Studio.
ఇప్పుడు ఎస్ఎల్టీ అనేది ఈసీసీలో కన్ఫిగర్ చేస్తారా సార్?
Yes, exactly.
ఓకే, ఎస్ఎల్టీ ఈసీసీలో ఉంటుందా?
Yeah, under top of this.
ఈసీసీ నుంచి మనం దాంట్లో వాడతాం.
Yes,
లోడ్
load.
రెప్లికేషన్స్ ఇవన్నీ ఈసీసీ టు హనాకి.
Yeah, this is to HANA. Okay.
ఓకే ఓకే.
So let me log into my database. So I'll go with here you can choose the option called we have a data provisioning. So using this option we can do all those activities, SLT activities. So click here and do the target and make it finish. So make it finish. This is a screen we get here. I think student target schema. Ante maybe a table load it will go to this target schema. Okay. So I'll go with the content part, catalog. First let me check that part here. So we check the schema called Z test 51. Ikkada. So okay. So let us go to expand. Mamu lay table load చేద్దాం. Okay. 1 second. Tables tables level. Hello. Hello.
HLD में हम करूँगा.
ये हाँ वास्तव में जानने के कुछ क्या चाहिए चिंता हो देख तुम बच्चे नोट्स करते
Hello. Hello.
वो काय बटला फर्स्ट ये करना सुनी वो ना एक दी ट्रिप मारना करना
Yeah, it's done.
Yeah.
Fine. So we'll just. I hope you guys can able to see my screen. So we just directly go with what's the HANA exactly. Suppose this is my company. So my company is always runs on the OLTP system, online transaction process, in which I can use SQL software, I can use Oracle database, I can use any SAP softwares. So when end user enters the records, the record will goes to expert of the database. It may be SAP or non-SAPs. Like so. So here is my client. So client needs a business status so that he can analyze his business properly and he'll take some decision on a business. So he needs some reports to take a business like decision. He needs some reports. If company will create a report on this OLTP, which has a current data, so company will not analyze the data properly. That's why company are maintaining a separate data warehousing concept called OLAP system, OLAP system, in which the records are constant forever. We can store data permanently. We call as historical data. So we are just moving the record from OLTP to OLAP by using some ETL tool. Okay, and once the record are placed in this OLTP, based on these records, we are getting a report on the BU or BW or BEX queries. This is what we are doing in the real time right now. So here, in both the cases, the records are stored in the hard drive. And if you talk about here, it's a database concept and it's a data warehousing concept. Both of them, the records are stored in the hard drive and it's a more distance. So this is what we are doing in real time right now. So here we have some lot of disadvantages. Like see, the client has to maintain the OLTP and OLAP separately. So maintenance cost is very high. Okay, and again the client has to buy the license for the ETL tool to move the record from OLTP to OLAP. Again, it's very costly. And both of them, the records are stored in the hard drive. In hard drive, the records are stored in a raw storage. Like here's my customer ID 01. He ordered some plastic of 2 kgs. He's named some Raj. Then we have one more customer ID 02. He ordered some silver of 1 kg. Again, he is named some Raj. Then we have one more customer ID 03. He ordered some plastic of 1 kg. Again, he is named Samraj. In real time, the names are duplicate but ID to be unique. Okay. Suppose I have some 3 lakhs record in which 30,000 times the name repeating Raj. Okay. So me to store 30,000 times of the Raj. So if the Raj occupies 3 bytes, we have to store 30,000 into 3 bytes of data we have to store, which occupies around 90,000 bytes will occupy in the hard drive. Okay, which is a hard drive. So it occupies more space. This is all disadvantages. Maintenance cost is very high. The client has to buy ETL tool. Again, it occupies more space, which requires a lot of space. So it's all disadvantages. So to avoid, because in the case of here, OLTP it's a SAP EC server, and here it's a SAP BW server. Okay, both of them the records are stored in the, or actually it's a hard drive. And to avoid all this stuff, we got a HANA picture. Now we'll see what's HANA exactly. This is my HANA server. So this is my HANA box. This HANA has a combination of OLTP plus OLAP. As HANA is a combination of OLTP plus OLAP, client will not to maintain the two servers individually. So we can reduce the maintenance cost. As we are not maintaining two servers individually, we don't require any ETL tool also. So we can reduce the cost cutting at buying the ETL tool also. And in HANA, we have a inbuilt calculation engine. We can perform the all runtime and DB calculations. Is advantage of HANA. And one more major advantage of HANA is the records are not stored in the hard drive. The records are stored in the RAM. So as you know, RAM is very fast. So when you create a report on this RAM, it increases the speed while fetching the data. When the speed is increased, performance also increase. So most of companies right now, they're looking for performance, which is given by the HANA itself. It's also increases space capacity. HANA also increases space capacity. How? In HANA, the records are stored in the column storage, not the row storage. Like 01, 02, 03, another one column. Then we have plastic and silver. Again, the plastic is repeating twice, but in column storage, In HANA, the repeated value are not stored, so we can save this extra space here. Similarly, we have a quantity. We have 2 kgs and 1 kg. Again, the 1 kg is repeating, but in console we don't store the repeated value. We can save the extra space. Again, in case of name, Raj is repeating 3 times, but we don't store all the Rajas. We store single Raj, which occupies very less space. Like that. Okay. 1 second. Sorry guys. So here, so we have so here in what happened here. Suppose I have some 3 lakhs records. Under 3 lakhs, if I have 30,000 times the name putting Raj, but in this console we are not storing all the Rajas. We are storing only single Raj, which occupies just a 3 bytes. So we can avoid around 89,997 bytes we can avoid. So think of in real time how much space we can avoid. Okay, this is a major advantage of HANA. But if you maybe get a doubt, like if I need a record of 03, then how to again rectify? Thing is that here we don't store the actual value of Raj, but we store the reference value of the previous one. We can store pointer because the Raj is already saved and it's anyways a duplicate value. So instead of storing the original value, we store the pointer, the reference value of this Raj for it because both values are same. So reference will not occupy much more space. It occupies only 1 byte. If you show the Raj, it occupies 3 bytes. If you show the reference, it will show only 1 byte. So by this, we can save more space. Okay, this is the main major advantage of HANA and the databases which are using in real time right now. Okay, it's my OLTP available. So clear? It's a main advantage.
Yes.
Now we'll see what's HANA exactly. So when you talk about the HANA here, so HANA is a high performance, it's analytical appliance. We also call it it's a in memory. Why? Because the records are stored in the database, so we call it in-memory database concept. The records are stored in the RAM. In this HANA, we have a 3 concept. One is HANA Studio. It's a GUI. Okay, it's an irregular of GUI, graphical user interface. Maybe if you have because in AS we have the SAP screens, right? We need to go with the different T codes, transaction codes in order to move from one T code one screen to the screen. But in HANA, there is no such T codes are available. We have only one application tool that's called HANA Studio. We will work on all the activities on the stuff only. And this studio will connect to HANA client. It's an interface software which is a ODBC, and it is connected to HANA server. And this server supports only SUSE Linux only. It supports only SUSE, not only Ubuntu, not only Fedora, all the stuff. It supports only a SUSE Linux till now, which is of level 0.3 version. And we because as I told you earlier, HANA will the records are stored in the RAM, so we have 1 TB capacity of RAM size to 250 capacity of RAM size, and this is provided by Dell company. Dell is providing this. Dell Inc. is providing the hard drive support. Okay. So will this studio and the client will support any OS. It supports Windows 8.1, Windows 8, any OS. So we'll install on any OS, but server will be installed only on SUSE Linux on separate machine. So we'll connect client to server with the ODBC drivers, and we'll connect the studio to client with the add machine. Once the setup is ready, so has a HANA will work on this activity. So we have different things. So we'll work on the modeling. In modeling, we learn about the schema creation, table creation in database, the fields creation in tables, creating a views, loading the data in the tables, as well as we have advanced HANA also, like we call as attribute view. So we create attribute view time based. So time based attribute view, how to create all the stuff, as well as we create analytical view, we create calculation view, and we create attribute hierarchy also. So we learn all this stuff practically. And in HANA, we tried some SQL codes, a basic SQL codes at procedure level, sequence level, trigger level, and synonym, okay, and decision table. This will look on here. So with this, HANA is a new technology. So most of companies they want to do migration because they suppose my company is using Oracle software right now. They want to migrate to HANA. So we'll learn the extraction and migration also. I'll show you the practically how to migrate, how to extract the data from here. So I'll show you how to extract the SQL data into HANA side. Okay, as well as SAP ECC server to HANA side, SAP BW data to HANA side. Okay, as well as this part. One second. Sorry guys. So here we learn all the stuff extraction. I will show you the each and everything like migration practically, and I will show you how to migrate the flat file data into HANA. So this migration will take place the two types. One is directly we can do migration with the help of SLT, SAP Landscape Transformation, RFC Remote Function Call, DXE Direct Extractor. We can learn the indirect extraction also. Indirectly we can extract the data like with the help of BODS, Business Object Data Services. With this, we learn about the reporting environment on the BO side. Okay, a sample how to get a report on the table based, view based. With this, we learn about the security type. So security. So like how to get a user creation, the role creation, the different types of rights assignment. Okay, we have 7 types of rights like system level rights, package level rights, application level rights. All the stuff we can learn in this stuff. With this we'll learn some administration tools like how to take a backup creation, how to take a recovery of a HANA system, and how to transport the object, because once you done the project we need to transport the object. So we learn about the how to transport the object from development to quality to production. Okay, with this we learn about the HANA commands. Okay, in some other admin tools we learn here. I'll show you the course content, how it look like, so you get some idea. Okay, you can see here the screen. So we have this one, all this stuff. So here I'll just show you the HANA introduction, the computing in memory. Okay, the comparing with the ECC, BW, what the main difference between the HANA and the ECC and BW. The complete architecture of HANA, as well as a complete architecture of HANA with the overview engine, row storage, column storage. Okay, or this stuff. And we learn about the modeling, HANA Studio modeling, attribute views, measure objects, all the different types of views, hierarchies, export and import option. Advanced modeling, we learn about the calculation views, functions, expressions, procedures, sequence, all the stuff. So with this, we'll learn about the HANA database also, like client, component, loading process, the architecture, and the security. We learn user creation, roles creations, assigning of different types of privileges, user administrations, and we learn about the PODS HANA, like it's called indirect extraction with the ODB options. The new one is a new technology. So the different options. We learn about the SLT also, the data extractor SLT option, and BW HANA also. So different options we can learn, and we learn about the reporting in the last, how to generate a report on the HANA table, HANA views. And I'll give you a number of lab exercises for practice, so you get a full of hands-on experience. So anyways, it's an online section. You can do the recording every day, and you can like you can watch the recording every day for practicing, and the recording will be with you from lifetime, so you can do it anytime. And we'll provide you on our online survey access, so to your practice. Okay, so it's a 24/7 online survey access. You can practice from anywhere. So this is what we do have here. The different things here. Okay, so this is about the HANA. So do you have any queries on this HANA? Because it's a basic introduction, so I'll give you a basic introduction, a brief idea about the HANA, the main components of HANA, and the difference between the HANA and the different races. Okay. Once we start the classes, we'll learn each and every component, the architecture, each and everything about the HANA. So you get a clear picture idea about the HANA.
Okay.
So and HANA
So
is a new technology for you. So most of companies are looking for HANA only. So maybe even the job opportunity also is very good in HANA also. So
okay, great.
you
Sir,
can,
I have some quick questions for you.
yeah, yeah.
Uh, coming to marketing SAP HANA,
Hmm.
what type of job roles? As far as I know, there are like 3 or 4 parts in HANA, like implementation and modeling, programming on HANA, and BW on HANA, and
Exactly.
administration in HANA.
Yes.
So, could you please explain us like where will we be sitting exactly on learning this?
See, so first we will go with the implementation and developer. Okay, somebody calls implementation, somebody calls developer, somebody calls modeler also. These
Modeler, yeah.
three all comes in the same, as we are learning the same thing. So modeling here, okay. Complete
Okay,
implementation. This course content will be valid for implementation, developer or modeler is common, as well as some part
okay,
of administration also, because we are discussing some part of administration part also here. So it's also valid for administration, but not all, but some part of things will be valid for the administration. Okay,
okay,
these things here. So if you learn this course or whatever, so you can apply for implementation, developer role, modeler role, as well as the administration roles also. So it's not issue.
okay,
And because the new technology, they will not ask you most on the HANA, because HANA just came just recently, just 2 years or 3 years back. So they will focus on, like they'll ask the questions or very less questions, and they'll expect only at least 1 year experience on HANA. So you can make it any
uh,
1 year, or 6 months of training experience, or 1 year of fake experience is more than enough. So you can get a job easily. Because it's not
okay,
a too long. If it is at like 20 years, 30 years back, so we have to need at least at 5 years or 6 years experience on this stuff. But we don't require for here. HANA is a very recently, and we have a huge demand and market in this stuff, so you can apply for 1 year experience of no issues.
okay. So, what's a BW on HANA then?
Yeah, BW, when you talk about BW HANA, BW is same thing, but BW data records will stored in the HANA database. Previously, when you talk about BW, we have a Oracle database previously. Now it's an HANA tools. So BW screen is same, BW application tool is same, like RS7 same T codes, but which is of Oracle database previously. Now it's a HDB
Okay.
database, HDB. The only
Okay.
difference.
HANA database.
That's all. That's the only difference. The skills and the rest is same, but we added some extra 2 or 3 concept are new will come, like composite provider, that extra things, hybrid provider, ODP options. That things will be happen new one. That's all. And we learn how to open this analytical views, calculation views in HANA, InfoCube, DSOs. That part. As well as how to open the in BW InfoCubes into HANA side. Okay, like attribute views, calculation views. That's it. Just some small like small difference will be happening in this BW HANA.
Okay.
So these things behind it. Yes, Sharath, so do you have any queries?
Uh, I just wanted to ask you.
Yeah.
So the you talked about the SQL procedures, secrets, triggers,
Yes.
synonyms. What
Exactly.
is a decision table?
Yes, yeah. Decision table are the same thing else, but we don't have any SQL code here. The decision table is
Okay.
one which can take a decision system, like system will take a decision on a table whether it want to change some data or not. So we'll just give some
Oh,
condition. Based on the condition, the system will define and it will trigger. It will do the modification
okay.
in
It's
this.
like a logical
Ah,
table.
exactly, same thing.
Okay.
So without a manual, we can update the data also.
Okay. Thank you so much.
So there are things we do have here. So we'll continue the same section like by day same timing, like morning 8 to 9 for us. So for you around 9:30 I think. So that's so if you okay timing, so we'll start the section by tomorrow also. So tomorrow same timing 8 a.m. IST timing.
Okay.
8
I'll.
a.m.
Yeah. Go
Okay.
ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead, please.
Yeah,
8 a.m. in the morning.
exactly. For me, IST. For you, what is timings?
Oh, okay. It will be like 9:30 the same time.
August time. So it's okay for you? I so like you want another timing like 7 o'clock.
Yeah,
So
of course it is. That is the best time actually. Since I'm working, so that's the
so
best time for me. And you can ask Hari about his availability.
yeah, sure, definitely, no issue. It's not issue.
Yeah. I'll let you know tomorrow, sir. I'll
Fine,
let you know.
fine, yeah,
Me and
fine,
Sharath will discuss
yeah,
and I'll let you know.
okay, fine. I'll just
Okay,
stop.
thank
Yeah, it's done.
Yeah.
Fine. So we'll just yeah, it's done.
Yeah.
Fine. So we'll just I hope you guys can able to see my screen. So we'll just directly go with what's HANA exactly. Suppose this is my company. So my company is always runs on the OLTP system, online transaction process, in which I can use SQL software, I can use Oracle database, I can use any SAP softwares. So when end user enters the records, the record will goes to expert of the database. It may be SAP or non-SAPs. Like so. So here is my client. So client needs a business status so that he can analyze his business properly and he'll take some decision on a business. So he needs some reports to take a business like decision. He needs some reports. If company will get a report on this OLTP, which has a current data, so company will not analyze the data properly. That's why company are maintaining a separate data warehousing concept called OLAP system, OLAP system, in which the records are constant forever. We can store data permanently. We call as historical data. So we are just moving the record from OLTP to OLAP by using some ETL tool. Okay, and once the record are placed in this OLTP, based on these records, we are getting a report on the BU or BW or BEX queries. This is what we are doing in the real time right now. So here, in both the cases, the records are stored.
To get better and grow. Very interesting. And that goes back, Mark, to my opening when I said don't think you need to hire a professional video crew and invest in a lot of technology. Listen up. Videos. There's my key word. You know what we're going to be talking about. Videos are more frequently shared on social media as compared to written content. I think the handwriting is on the wall or it's on the tape or wherever your media is. So what are we talking about here? Whether you are in sales or if you are in marketing, lucky you, it's time to think outside of the box. You need to reach and encourage prospects to buy from you. It's crowded out there. It's busy out there. Everyone's got media pounding them, whether it's audio, whether it's visual, all day long on their mobile devices, their cell phones, their computers, their phones, written material. So how do you get in front of the people you need to talk to? Well, we have an interesting idea here. We've covered this topic before on some other Game Changer series, but this is time for us to bring it to coffee break, to you, our biggest global audience, and we thank you for your loyalty. Here's the deal. Create videos in-house using your own people. I said it. Let's just get that out there. Again, create videos in-house using your own people. If you're sitting there and saying, what? It's expensive. You need a lot of technology. You need a lot of expertise. You need to bring in a fancy schmancy video crew. No, no, no. And that's what we're going to here to help you with today. And then don't just make the videos, make them well, make them compelling, make them answer questions your audience is asking. And then what do you do with them? Well, you're going to use them in your sales strategies, and more specifically, you're going to use them in your social selling. That puts a big red bow on the package of what we're talking about today. I have 3 experts, and they're going to share tips and tricks, which I know you all would love, to optimize the engagement and pipeline you're going to get from these fabulous videos you're going to make, because we know you're going to run right out and do it after the show. So I'm Bonnie D. Graham. Welcome. And technically, officially, our topic is social sellers and video, but I'll say marketers and video, sellers and video. Let's just say video. Look, Ma, I'm on camera. Part 2. And yes, I do have a digital camera, and I make all my TV shows, my cable TV shows are all done in a home studio with a great digital camera, so I know how this works. We have 3 wonderful experts on the panel. Let me tell you who they are just briefly. Mark Lotenero, I think I said that right, Mark, Senior Client Success Manager for Grapevine 6. We have Julio Viscovich, he's coming back. They're all returning guests. At Next Level Sales, we'll find out more about what he does. And Alexandra Witta, if you're looking her up, Witte, lead for the Global Virtual Customer Experience Community at SAP. Welcome to my panelists, and let's start with Mark Lotenero. Mark has sent us a quote from Jordan Belfort. I didn't recognize the name, Mark. I looked him up. You know, I do the background research, and I said to myself, why didn't I remember his name? So let me do it. Jordan Ross Belfort, born in 1962. To me, he's quite a young guy. American author, motivational speaker, and former stockbroker. In 1999, he pleaded guilty to fraud and related crimes in connection with stock market manipulation, and he was running a boiler room. I think everybody knows what that is, as part of a penny stock scam. Think fraud. He spent almost 2 years in prison, and he made an agreement to give testimony against his partners and the people working under him in the fraud scheme. But here's the kicker. He published the memoir, The Wolf of Wall Street, in 2007, and it was made into a movie that came out in 2013. So yes, The Wolf of Wall Street relates back to Jordan Belfort. Here's the quote. Listen up. No matter what happened to you in your past, you are not your past. You are the resources and the capabilities you gain from it, and that is the basis for all change. Mark Lotenero, how are you?
I'm doing awesome. Thank you for having me back on, Bonnie. I appreciate it.
Delighted. And one of your colleagues from Grapevine 6 was on the first part of this we did on our social selling with Game Changers series. So we're very happy to have you back. Mark, talk to me. Jordan Belfort, this isn't a confession, but he's saying, hey, let's move on. Let's grow from what we did, good, bad, or ugly. So tell me, how does this relate to our topic, video for marketing and sales? Talk to me.
Sure, yeah. So I think Jordan was pretty spot on here. And you know, given some of the past decisions he's made, I think he's one of the best to really speak to this. But, you know, in my eyes, people tend to think that their past failures or their shortcomings or their bad experiences, they think that shapes who they are today and who they're going to be in the future. But in reality, you know, it's the lessons and the takeaways and the learnings from those past experiences that really help us grow and make those positive outcomes and, you know, just general changes in our lives. So a lot of people are weary or hesitant or self-conscious, insecure, or they lack confidence to really put themselves out there and break the mold of tradition to try new things and to get out of their comfort zone because of those past experiences. So I think it's important to really understand that it is only when we take those chances and break out of whatever previous molds we were held into, where we become better, more well-rounded individuals. And, you know, in terms of today's topic, I think a lot of people are hesitant to leverage video. Video can be very, you know, revealing about an individual, and a lot of us are insecure and self-conscious. They're worried about what their audience is going to think about them. So whatever those, you know, past shortcomings might be, whatever those insecurities are, you know, use those to your advantage. Get outside of your comfort zone and just do what you need to do to really expand your digital brand and to get in touch with your audience. And I think video is an excellent way to do that.
It sounds like, Mark Latenero, it sounds like you're saying take the risk, make the leap, don't be afraid, be authentic, let it all hang out, as we used to say. Is that the message that you just gave us?
That's exactly right. And I think one of the big issues is people are worried about how others are going to look at them. And a lot is revealed about an individual through an intimate video. It's really hard to fake that. So I do think that there is some hesitancy. People are scared to put themselves out there. They're fear of being rejected, fearing that no one's going to interact with the content that they share from a video standpoint.
Yeah.
So it's about breaking away from that mindset and just putting yourself out there. Like you said, Bonnie, just taking the risk and take every step as a new learning experience to get better and grow.
Very interesting. And that goes back, Mark, to my opening when I said don't think you need to hire a professional video crew and invest in a lot of technology. And what I meant is don't think you need to make it perfect. I know that we've talked with this panel, I think, about Gary Vee, and somebody will probably bring that up later about he just sits there and talks from the wine company he's running for his father in New Jersey, and they weren't doing great business, and he started doing videos, and he just exploded on social and grew the business exponentially very quickly. But the point is that the comment has been made, Gary Vaynerchuk, Gary Vee, he just sits there and talks to the camera like he's talking to his buddy. He's a real deal, and he says what he says. And I think this is what we're looking for. So, Mark, be like Gary Vee. Is that one of our sub messages here?
You know, it's funny. I actually almost used a Gary Vee quote instead of the one that I used from Jordan, and I'm not even kidding. And I think he's a huge inspiration to the folks out there that are a little bit weary about putting themselves out there, because he is a completely transparent individual.
Yeah.
He does take some backlash for it, but that's going to always come with the territory. Anytime you are your true self, you're going to always get some backlash. But
Yep.
Gary Vee is a perfect example and a testament of authenticity and getting an audience to rally behind you because of that authenticity. Huge fan of Gary.
Thank you. I'm glad I brought it up. It just came to mind. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. And now let's move a little bit around the table to our second panelist, welcoming back Julio Viscovich. If you want to look him up, Viskovich, and that's part of his Twitter handle, Julio Visco, Visko. That's very clever, Julio. And he has sent us a quote from Confucius, 551 to 479 BC. They counted from the big numbers down to the smaller numbers in BC. I always have to get used to that. He was a Chinese teacher, an editor, politician, and philosopher of the spring and autumn period of Chinese history, and his philosophy is known as Confucianism. He emphasized personal and governmental morality, correctness of social relationships. There we go, Julia. That's applicable. He wasn't thinking about the social relationships we have today online. We didn't know about that. Justice and sincerity. There's that sincerity, authenticity. So the quote is, "Our greatest glory is not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall." Julio, how are you?
I am excellent, Bonnie. Thank you for having me back on the show.
We are delighted to have you back. Tell me, first of all, what do you do? I'm going to go later into your bio, but tell me about what you do at Next Level Sales. I want to put your title in here. Founder? CEO?
Yeah, founder.
Okay, I like that. Good. Now, talk to me about this quote. It reminds me a little bit of the Jordan Belfort quote that Mark Latenero just shared with us. And I know you two didn't get together and say, oh, let's pick quotes that are similar. So tell me how you picked this one, and what does it have to do with video?
Well, it has to do with video and the fact that it's something new, right? I think as a salesperson, we're so used to, the same old, sending emails, making cold calls, doing things without putting our face in front of the customer. And getting someone to jump on video is asking them to do something completely different. It's, an entrepreneurial thought process where, we're going to try something new. We're going to put ourselves out there, and there's a good chance that it's not going to be a one-and-done video. The first time you actually make a video, you're probably going to fall a few times. You're going to have to do a couple outtakes. You're going to try it a few times until you finally are happy with it. And I think that's one of the most difficult things making video is turning your camera lens into your prospect. And actually, letting it loose a little bit and actually talking to your prospect by name while looking into a camera lens. And that's something that not everybody's going to be used to. And it's going to be perhaps a little funky when you first try it out. But at the end of the day, whether you fall down, you have a few outtakes, your first videos aren't going to be perfect. But the most important thing is that you're persistent about it and you understand that it's going to work. And I think today we're going to talk about why it's going to work, and hopefully we make everyone feel comfortable about trying out video. And if you do fail and you do fall, it's about being persistent, getting back up, trying it again, and ultimately it's going to pay itself off in your commissions.
Thank you. So well put, Julio. And it reminded me, I mentioned that I now tape my cable TV shows in a home studio I created here in my new home in Durham, North Carolina, as opposed to the 4-camera studio I used in New York, because they didn't have anything like that where I am. The People's Channel here is not set up that way. And so I bit the bullet, invested in a Mevo camera with the boost, and it's run on an iPad, the whole thing, and my director uses his fingers to change the scenes and move the scene around, and we have a whole light board and an audio board. But what I wanted to say was, I give instructions to my guests. And just like the radio show where we're not scripted here, I just do a free-fall conversation rather than a Q&A prepared scripted interview. And I find that the authenticity of my guest, Julio, I just find ways to bring them out and get them excited. And when they smile or they get excited about the topic and talk to me and the camera, it's wonderful rather than them sitting there, oh, let me read my notes. But, Julio, what I wanted to say, and to Mark also, is that I tell my guests, if you say something you don't want or you mess up, we're just going to keep rolling, but just say, hey, stop, I don't want to do that. We just keep rolling, and then I edit it out, which brings me to, there is some really good free editing software as well. I use iMovie, and I put in transitions, I add things in, I take things out. Julio, do you believe in using video editing software if something isn't quite exactly the way you want when you recorded it?
Absolutely. I mean, things happen, right? Oftentimes you may even forget to turn your ringer off on your phone or something, and then all of a sudden it goes off right in the middle of an idea as you're getting it across. So I think the most important thing is just keep going. Avoid the stops and starts as much as possible. Keep going and get it all out there, and you can always edit it out, in the future. So use those transitions and make yourself look good. But again, I think you're bang on there, is just make sure that you just keep going, because it's very difficult to jump back and forth between your thought processes. So for me, I highly recommend what you mentioned is just keep going, edit it out later, use transitions. It's never been easier to use really user-friendly softwares now that allow you to do a good job editing, and iMovie is a great example.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Just doing a little case study here. And now our third panelist, she has so much great information for us. We're delighted to welcome back Alexandra Witta. And Alexandra has sent us a beautiful quote from Maya Angelou, not the one we usually get from our panelists. Maya Angelou, born Marguerite Annie Johnson, 1928 to 2014, was an American poet, singer, memoirist, and civil rights activist. She published only 7 autobiographies. I don't know how many people even do more than one. She had 3 books of essays, several books of poetry, and she is credited with plays, movies, and TV shows over a half century. That's 50 years. She received more than 50 honorary degrees, and she's most famous for her first autobiography, I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings, published in 1969. So here is the beautiful quote, and that was of her life up to the age of 17. Here is the quote Alexandra has selected from Maya Angelou. Listen up. If you are always trying to be normal, you will never know how amazing you can be. Alexandra, welcome back. I love the quote. How are you?
I'm very good. Thanks, Bonnie. I love to be on your show again. And how are you doing today?
Well, it's very kind of you to ask. I'm very excited. I've already hosted 2 webinars, and this is my first of 2 radio shows. So this is the authentic me, very excited to be doing what I do. And I love the authenticity of speaking to you, Alexandra, and Mark and Julia on live radio, because this is who we are. This is what's on our mind. So tell me about this. The quote took me by surprise, Alexandra. Trying to be normal, you'll never know how amazing you can be. Let's relate that to the concept of making videos in-house with your own people in your company. Talk to me.
Yeah, so I chose the quote because I think it's very inspiring, and I also chose it because it serves as a reminder for myself, because I need to constantly push myself to know to look for the next big thing that makes communication more engaging and more exciting, because video now has become so normal to me that I'm already looking for the next thing with video, like interactive video or how we can improve the live stream experience. So I think, 3 years ago, for instance, I talked about putting your own videos on LinkedIn, and I hardly saw anyone doing this. But today, this has become very standard. So I think we constantly need to push ourselves to look for the next communication method. And this is why I chose the quote. And I'm probably also going to hang it up on my wall so that I will always push myself every day to look for something new.
Thank you very much, and I'm glad you mentioned that. I just looked up LinkedIn and videos, and there is actually a LinkedIn video here called How to Embed Video into LinkedIn with the full instructions. There are a lot of posts on YouTube on exactly how to do it, so it's very much considered something that couldn't be done. Now, Alexandra, I want you to define normal versus amazing. Let's dive a little bit deeper into that quote. What's your thought?
Yeah, I think today normal is hopefully that people are not using just their smartphones or their email to communicate with prospects and customers, but that they also use video communication. And if you want to be amazing, then you are either using video in another way or in a new way, or you try new ways to combine video with other means of communication. So I think it's also about how you leverage the technology that is out there. For instance, this year, we covered 7 of our events via self-recorded videos. And there were some events where we collected our first experience doing that. And I still remember one event where my colleague just took the 360 camera, plugged it onto his phone, and did a 360 live booth tour. And that was the first 360 video that he ever did in his life, right? And he just went for it. And this is the spirit that I love, and
wow.
This is what I can only encourage everyone to do.
I'm flabbergasted. That is really something. And when you're live streaming is even a scarier aspect. I have the option of live streaming my TV shows, but I'd rather have the opportunity to look at them and make those transitions I was discussing with Julio. And I also, here's something interesting that I do. I don't know if it's appropriate in business videos. I listen to what my guests say, and I write in a crawl underneath that goes across the screen from right to left, bits and pieces of the conversation or their words of wisdom on whatever the topic of our discussion is, so that I've added a piece of visual interest to just listening to somebody talk and watching somebody talk. And I find it makes it a little more like a news show and makes it very interesting to see the crawl. And I do it every couple of minutes, not all the time, so that you get to concentrate on the conversation. Then you get to see this call out, if you will, of what was important for me as the host and producer, what I think is memorable as a takeaway from my guests. Do you ever encourage people to do that in editing, Alexandra, to put a crawl or to post a call out from the conversation?
I actually never thought about that. I only preach that, so far I've preached that people should write a compelling description to their video, and that when they send a video message to a prospect or customer, that this text that they add to their video is very personalized, so that the customer prospect doesn't have the impression that it's spam. So everything should be personalized. Even the video, even though you produce a video, it still sounds like spam if you don't personalize it. So this is what I preach whenever I hold my video trainings, and I hope everyone does it.
Thank you. Very, very interesting. I like what you said. Let's just quickly go around the panel before I get to the where are you, what's in your cup, and what's your role, what do you do at your company. Mark Latenero, agree with what Julio has said, what I added, because it's been a while since we spoke to you. What's it been, 12 minutes? And what Alexandra said about the authenticity, about personalizing, about editing. Go ahead, Mark.
Absolutely, yeah. And I think from an editing standpoint, too, is you use everything that you have access to. If you have software that provides you with editing capabilities, then why wouldn't you use it? However, what I will say is I think there's an important distinction between how much you want to focus on that. And what I mean by that is, from a marketing asset standpoint, if you're creating videos that go on .com or are very specific to marketing campaigns, then you're going to obviously want to edit that to be absolutely perfect. But if these are videos that you're recording from a social selling standpoint, trying to give your audience an understanding of who you are as an individual, edit so the video makes sense, but don't try to make it too perfect. Don't try to make everything absolutely flawless, because that is going to take away from the authenticity. It's going to take away from the personalization aspect of it too as well, and in fact is going to result in your audience not really knowing truly what your personality is like or who you are. It's going to be a button-down, condensed, more professional version. So editing is excellent. Use it when it makes the most sense. But I think just, in the big picture, Bonnie, I think everyone had excellent points in terms of putting yourself out there. Don't be afraid to fail. If you do fail, which is going to happen, don't be afraid to just get up, dust yourself off, and just keep going. Everybody is going to face some shortcomings and some roadblocks, as in any other aspect of our daily lives, right? So why should trying something new be any different? So love what Alexandra and Julio had to say, and I'm excited to continue this conversation.
Thank you. You're very kind. And I will tell you that when I edit my TV shows, there's no attempt at perfection. All I'm trying to do is, if there was an awkward moment or somebody said, stop, I didn't want to say that, I just pull out a little tiny clip and I just connect with a nice little blur transition, and it goes into the next part of the conversation. And it's really fun for me to look at what was said, because when I'm hosting, I'm not exactly sure. I know what I say and what they say, but I don't have that audience view. It's really fun to see how it turned out and look at it. And I sometimes, if a shot wasn't really good, I'll overlay it with some photos that the guest has sent me just on top, so you hear their voice and then you see a little bit of a montage. It really makes it fun. I'll send you all a link to my Vimeo channel. You can take a look at some of the shows. I think you'll enjoy them. And now, Julio, what are your thoughts about specifically what Alexandra added?
Yeah, I think it's very much on point. I always think of, when I think of authentic videos, for whatever reason, I think of the movie Blair Witch Project that came out about 15 or 20 years ago, where essentially it was a horror movie and they filmed it point of view with a camcorder in the woods. And that's why it was so popular, because it was different, it was authentic, it was not polished like you would typically find in a normal Hollywood blockbuster hit. And I think that kind of parlays itself into social selling as well. I think you do have to be authentic and not look to drive perfection in every single video. It's about the message. It's about letting people sit down at a table with you, even though the geographic barriers or time zones might be constraining that. So I think the more you can strive for that type of situation, I think the better off you're going to be in using your videos, and the more impactful they're going to be on the potential prospect.
Thank you very much. And now, you know what? Since we just went around the table back to Mark and Julio, I'm going to start off with, where are you today? What do you love to drink? And what's your role? We already know a little bit about you, Alexandra, but why don't you start us off? Where are you? I know you called into us from somewhere. I don't think you're in the U.S. today. What's your favorite drink that powers you to be so savvy about helping people make great marketing videos, Alexandra? And bring us up to date on what you do.
Yeah, thanks so much. So I'm calling in from Germany. On the first show, I still lived in Berlin, but now I live close to Munich, which makes me a frequent visitor to the Oktoberfest. And I drink Schorle. It's a German word for a drink that you can make yourself no matter where you are in this world. You just need to fill your cup with about 3/4 sparkling water, and then you add any kind of fruit juice that you like. And to me, this is such a normal drink, but to my American colleagues and to my colleague who is in Australia, this is something that they don't know, which is completely new to them. And when they visited me in Germany this year, they always ordered Schorle. And then they said, oh, they order Schorle because they can't get it in Australia. And I was like, what are you talking about? You can make it yourself. Everyone can who's now listening to this show. And yeah, it's a very delicious drink. And what I do, well, I work with sales and pre-sales at SAP. And I help them to understand the power of using video on social media to engage with their prospects and customers. And I don't only convince them that they should focus on social video, I also train them on how they can look at their best in a video and how they can incorporate the do's and leave out the don'ts that make social videos so great. And furthermore, I started working with marketing this year because we realized that if we record marketing videos ourselves in marketing, we can save more than 20K per event, and we double the engagement. So we are complete winners if we also create our own videos on marketing.
Very exciting. By the way, please spell the drink for me. You know I love to Google what the drinks are, and I've never heard of this before. How do you spell Charla?
Yes, SCHORLE.
Never in a million years would I have guessed that. I tried 5 different permutations on it. Okay, let's see. Yes, I have one called Apple Saft Shorla, sparkling apple juice. Empty, undiluted frozen apple juice into a decorative pitcher. It's important to have a decorative pitcher. Or 2-quart serving carafe, filled juice container with club soda 3 times. Pour into the pitcher, stir well, and served in a fluted champagne glass. Is that it? It's a spritzer, right? It's a spritzer.
Yeah, I mean, your description sounds like as if it was a very fancy drink, but we usually drink it in just a normal glass, and it's not a fancy drink for us. It's more something that kids drink or adults who love the drink just like me. Yeah.
Thank you. I think I make it with orange juice and seltzer, which is just an orange juice spritzer. It's very, very delightful. Thank you, Alexandra. Let's go around the table to Mark Lotenero. Mark, where are you calling from? What do you love to drink, and what are you doing these days at Grapevine 6?
So I am calling for probably just a 4-hour drive from you, Bonnie, over in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Oh, hello.
Yeah. Yep. Hello. And, been here for about 3 years. So the company is actually headquartered in Toronto, Canada. And what's in my cup today? So just to have a little, something more exciting to highlight on, on this call, instead of just saying I'm having my normal everyday coffee, what I've been doing this week is instead of putting cream and sugar in my coffee, I'm putting butter in my coffee.
Oh, is this bulletproof coffee? Are you doing the bulletproof?
So, there's